Early waking. It's not pleasant for anybody. 5 a.m. is not considered morning in my house, and I'm sure you're with me. But what is early waking caused by? Hi, I'm Nikki, one of the founders of Little Ones and a paediatric sleep expert. At Little Ones, we've crafted sleep programs which cover your little ones' settling, napping, night sleep, sleep regressions, nap transitions, early waking, night weaning, you name it, we've got it covered. There is no sleep challenge that we cannot help you address, and we have helped over 150,000 families around the world improve their little ones' sleep. Make sure you visit our website www.little-ones.co to find out more. So let's talk about early rising. Tell me in the comments below, what time do your little ones wake up in the morning? Are you struggling with early waking? So let's first look at why overtiredness might cause early waking. If your little one is not having enough nap hours for their age and the right amount of awake time between those nap hours, and they're going to bed in the evening overtired, chances are they're possibly also having a fractured night sleep and an early wake. Overtiredness causes early waking because when we are overtired, the hormone cortisol, the stress hormone, is coursing through our body. We have elevated levels of it in our body, and this is the fight or flight hormone, so it doesn't let us rest. When we're overtired and we go to bed, we still have these elevated levels during our sleep. This can mean that our nighttime sleep is restless, we wake up a lot more, we're a lot more alert, so any little thing is going to wake us up because we are in this adrenaline state. We are in fight or flight mode. We are not prepared to rest. We're getting ready to run for our lives. Elevated levels of cortisol mean that when it gets to that really light sleep period in the early hours of the morning, we're awake. Your little one's body is telling them that they've had enough, they've got to wake up. This is time to start their day. They can't go back to sleep. They'll be restless, probably quite cranky, and fighting sleep no matter what you do. The trick here is to avoid overtiredness, and to do that, you need to make sure that your little one is getting enough naps, the right length of naps, and the right amount of awake time for their age. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a sec, because first let me talk about the opposite of this, which is undertiredness. As you can probably guess, it means that your little one has had enough sleep. They've already had too much sleep within that 24-hour window, that at 5 a.m. they are awake and ready to go. So undertiredness happens if your little one is having too much daytime sleep for their age. So if your 6-month-old baby is still napping for, say, 4 hours across 2 or 3 naps during the day, that's too much. We have to look at baby sleep in a 24-hour period. So that includes naps and night sleep in that same bubble. You add it all up. If your little one is napping that much in the day, then that's going to be deducted from their nighttime sleep, from their cumulative sleep total across that whole 24 hours. Our little ones are really good at regulating their sleep like this. In a newborn baby, this is quite commonly seen as day-night confusion. So a baby who sort of sleeps pretty much all day and then stays up all night. That's them regulating their sleep hours, and they just have it round the wrong way. So what can happen in an older baby, especially 6 months and beyond, is we still get caught up in thinking they need all of this sleep. We love it when they nap because we get some time out, we get to do other stuff. We've got this mentality that's been hammered into us that sleep breeds sleep, and we should let them sleep as much as they want in the day because it's going to help them overnight. But that isn't necessarily true. I mean, it's true to an extent, but there reaches a limit where your little one has then had too much daytime sleep, and that's going to impact their nighttime sleep. And that might cause a wakeful period in the middle of the night and or this dreaded early wake. This isn't sustainable long term because then ultimately you're stuck in a bit of a cycle because your child has woken up really early. They kind of need to squeeze more nap hours in to make it through to, say, a 7 p.m. bedtime. And then you get stuck in this cycle of too much day sleep, not enough nighttime sleep, and it can be really hard to break. So both overtiredness and undertiredness simmers down to the fact that you need to have your child on a really age-appropriate nap and sleep pattern during the day. But it is quite hard to find the correct information on how to do that out there in the wide world of the internet. There is a lot of misleading advice, unfortunately. And the thing is, and a lot of people seem to overlook this key component, is that baby sleep is always changing. As rapidly as your little one is growing, literally before your eyes, their sleep needs are changing that quickly too. So it's not enough to have a nap routine set up at 3 months old and still be expecting to follow that same nap routine at 6, 7, 8 months old. Your little one's nap patterns and sleep needs have drastically changed during that time. So to stay on top of it, so you avoid overtiredness and undertiredness, get on a really age-appropriate nap pattern. We have them. We have spent a long time researching and developing really age-appropriate sleep programs which talk you through the ideal nap times and lengths and what the awake times should be and settling techniques, and you name it, we've got it in our sleep programs. So make sure you have a look on our website if you want more advice around overcoming overtiredness or undertiredness, especially in relation to that early wake. Another cause of that early wake can definitely be the sleep environment. And this is what I would refer to as a really easy fix. At 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m., in a lot of places, especially in the cooler months, that is the coldest time of the night. It's very, very common for your little one to wake up and they've just gotten a bit cold. Once they're awake, and maybe you're going in and getting them up for the day, so they're being cued that it is morning time. And that can lock in a bit of a habit wake. Their body clock gets used to that being the morning, and it's going to keep waking them up at that time, even after the original reason for the wake is resolved. But first rule out that they're getting cold, especially in autumn and spring, where it can be warmer when you put them to bed, but then cooler in the morning. Winter's a bit easier because it stays cold all the time and same with summer, hot all the time. But where you have those more extremes, I would put my kids to bed, lighter blankets or lighter baby sleeping bags at the start of the night, and either change them into a thicker sleeping bag when I went to bed while they stayed asleep, which was terrifying, but it worked. It's like a dream feed, but it's like a dream sleeping bag change. Or I would simply just put an extra blanket on them before I went to bed. Or you can also set, if you've got a heater or a thermostat in your little one's room, set that to a consistent temperature, or set it to come on at say 4 in the morning, just to boost the temperature in their room in those early hours, and see if that helps. That's a quick win. Another easy thing to do is crank up the white noise. Sometimes at 5 a.m. there are things that might wake a sleeping baby that we don't even register. Birds outside, maybe your neighbours leaving for work. Life starts to be noisy in the outside world at around 5 a.m. and things like this, which we're just so used to we can sleep through, might be waking your baby. So use some white noise, that really helps too. Another thing that is quite common is the sun. Now, if you live in a country where the sun's starting to creep up between 5 and 6, then making sure that there are no cracks of sunlight coming through your little one's curtains is the solution here. Sunlight triggers an instinctive body clock response in our little ones. In actual fact, any kind of light, but specifically sunlight, is going to say to your little one's body, hey, it's daytime, wake up. And then that's also then going to become a bit of a habit wake too, especially if the sun keeps coming in at 5 a.m. Another easy fix for that is to make sure that you've got blackout curtains, or put up an extra blanket or something to peg your curtains together in the middle to cover any little crack of light that's creeping through at 5 a.m. These are all really easy things you can try first, even if you don't want to jump straight into changing their nap structure straight away. So these are the things that are the primary causes of early waking in newborns, infants, and even toddlers: overtiredness, undertiredness, and what's going on in their sleep environment. If you want more help with any of these elements, or if you want help with settling or self-settling or habit waking or night weaning or naps or night sleep or sleeping through the night, then make sure you have a look at our sleep programs on our website, and we, along with our certified sleep consultants, will be able to help you through any sleep issue that you are having. Don't forget to subscribe here to our YouTube channel, And make sure you follow us on Instagram so you can ask us your sleep questions and we could turn your question into a video just like this one. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.